In this demo, I'm going to show you how to use the Field Eagle tablet application. The first thing you need to do is download the app on your tablet using the Windows Store, Android Store, or iOS Store for iPads. I'm using a Windows machine. I've already downloaded the app from the Windows Store, and now I'm just going to go and open the app. I have a link for it here. I open it, and it asks me to log in. This is my username. This is my login information, and I'm going to put in my password and sign in. When you've signed in to the tablet application, this is the home screen. The first thing you need to do as an inspector who's going to be doing inspections or collecting the data is you need to download the inspections that have been assigned to you. In order to do that, you need internet connection at this point, and you will go into synchronize inspections. When you go into synchronize inspections, you can, if you're doing it for the first time, you don't need to synchronize previous inspections. So all you need to do is select synchronize. The system starts working and using the internet to download the inspections that have been assigned to you. Once this process is completed, you no longer need internet connection while using Field Eagle. Field Eagle only has 2 points where you actually need to use internet connection, and that is when you are downloading, syncing the inspections to the tablet, and when you have gone through, performed the inspections, signed and submitted them, and you want to send them back to the server so that reports can be available for all of the administrators to see and export and send to clients and go through all the details and perform all the actions that have been done on the tablet. Essentially, once an inspection is signed and submitted, the reports become available as soon as the upload is done back to the server so that actions can be taken based on the reports and everything that was done. Now that the sync is complete, we can go back. And if I go into my inspections, I will have a list here of all the inspections that have been assigned to me. So the first thing I need to do is go and inspect these inspections that have been assigned to me. So I go into perform, and this is the perform inspection screen. Up here, we have all the different reports that are available directly on the tablet that you will be able to view at the end of the inspection. We have a compliance rating, which is based on pass and fail criteria. And this system also tracks the items remaining for you in case you have an inspection that has over 800 items and you want to keep track of everything. This is the item hierarchy here. You can search for things, but it shows you all of the hierarchy. So this here is our parent items. When I open this up, this is a child item. This is a subchild item. And when I open it up, another subchild item. So this is the hierarchy that has been set up on the server, and this is our template. If I go into each one, you can see for this parent item, these are the questions that were assigned. So this is what is the unit number? You enter in 13. Who is the customer? Put in the name. When you are doing a free text form, it will ask you for the select criteria, pass or fail. I'm going to say pass, and a work order number is a number. If I go into setup hoist hazards, here you can see different types of the question logic or the question category. So this one happens to be a checkbox. So here I can say I can enter more than one. If I say other, this means that this is a pass, these are the fails, and I can enter more than one. If the answer is a fail and the system mandates me to take a picture or a note, an icon will show, and here is where we go to take the photo. We select photo and we take the photo. Once the photo is taken, we can mark it up, and we can take more than one photo. And again, we can mark it up. If a mistake is made and we want to remove the markings, you can delete the markings as well and just save it. And now if I go backwards, this icon changes to green to tell me that there is a photos have been taken for this particular item. Same thing with notes. You can put in the note. And you see the icon has changed to green, meaning that there's a note in there. Then we also have this I. If I select this and I go into it, you can see here, this is the page where you see all of the instructions that have been set up for this question. Any documents that were attached are located here, and you can open them directly on the tablet. And the regulatory bodies and standards are also located here. When I click on it, it takes me to the page where I can see the regulatory bodies, the standard that was attached, and the document that was also attached that I may be able to, that I may want to open on the tablet. I don't have to if I don't want to, but if I do, it's here. Then the next step is to go through and perform the inspection. You will not be able to sign and submit this inspection until all of these items here have this check mark in it. If you happen to be trying to inspect something, but you can't get to it, or you can't inspect it for whatever reason, you will not be able to sign and submit this inspection. If that's the case, we have this option here where you can make an item inaccessible, removed, or not assigned. So if I go to inaccessible, it mandates to put a note. If I go back now, you'll see that the icon has now changed, telling me that this item is not accessible. If I go back to the same icon and I change it to removed, it's now changed it to an X. And if I go back again and I change it to not assigned, it changes the icon again. So you have different icons for different actions. If I happen to answer something with a fail, and I know that this fail is very, very critical and I need it to have immediate action, there is an option to create a serious defect notification. In order to do that, we go to this icon here and we select it. And here we see the SDN. It has to be a fail in order for you to be able to do the SDN. So I'm going to fail this, go back, and here you can see the icon is now available. So if I go into issue SDN, it's a form that has to be filled out. You put in all of the information, put in the serious defect details, what is a required action, and you can also take notes that are specific to this serious defect notification. Once you're done, you would sign it, and it would have a date on it with the time, and you would save it, and it will become part of all of the reports for this inspection. Another thing that you can do directly on the tablet is we have these icons up here. This one is highlight incomplete items. So if I have a lot of items here and my items remaining is saying that I have 1 of 800 and I can't find it, if I select the highlight incomplete items button, it will highlight the item that has not been filled out so that I can fill it out and continue. This one here is add new parent item. So you can add a new parent item directly on the tablet. You can select the category that it belongs to, and then you add the question. Once that's done, I go back, and now the parent item that I added directly on the tablet is here. The parent item that is added directly on the tablet is blue. And the reason for that is to identify that this item was added directly on the tablet and was not part of the original template. We can also add child items, which is this icon here. So if you want to add a child item, you just highlight the parent item that you want that child item to belong to. So in this case, I'm going to highlight this parent here, and I'm going to select add a parent child item. I'm going to add the question and go back. And now you can see that the child item is underneath the parent item that I had highlighted. If I go into the items that I added directly on the tablet, you can see that here is the question, and here's the way you can answer the question, which is freeform. Once you answer the question, it gives you a criticality, which you can also select. You can also take pictures and notes if you want directly on the tablet. Once I've answered it, it changed it to a check mark so that I know that it's been answered. Now, if I go back to this item here, you can see here all of the questions, and I just want to show you the type of answer logic that we have. This is the checkbox. This one here is the freeform. This one here is the dropdown that has been set up. This one here is the number, so you have to put a number. If you try to put something else, will not accept it. This is the checklist. And this is, again, the freeform. So you can have all these different types of question categories or answer logic. We also have another option here, which is actions. So if I select this actions bar, it's going to create a new icon for each item. And this is the action icon. So you can see here, this shows that this particular item is in yellow, and that's because it failed, and I can add an action for this fail. When I select action, it gives you an action form, and it gives you the recommended actions for the item based on current risk of criticality. And you can put in what are the required parts and services, what is the action, what are the required actions. You can set a schedule, and you can also put in the current risk, which is based on this criteria up here. Once you're done, you press save, and that creates a action for this item here, which it will also be available in the reports. And that's what you can do on the tablet. It allows you to go through, answer all the questions, add items if you want, track. And then once you're done with that, now I don't need actions anymore, I turn it off. Then we have all of the reports up here, which I mentioned earlier. So here we have the final compliance report that can be available directly on the tablet, which can be viewed. We also have the view previous punch list report. And then we also have here the final report that can be viewed. And then we have here what's called view punch list report. So this is the existing punch list report. And then we have here highlight previous deficiencies. So if I select this button here, it goes through the inspection and it looks for previous deficiencies. So you can see the ones in green are things that have passed, but you can see also it changes the color on things that are orange. So anything that's highlighted means that it had a previous deficiency. So it creates this icon beside the previous deficiency. If I go and select it, it shows me what the previous question history is. So this was the item. The question was, what type of material is it? The answer was steel, and then I'll be able to see the notes and photos for that history. If I turn that off, then this next button here is compare previous answer. So if I select this, it shows you the previous answer for this inspection. So for this particular question here, what type of material is it? You can see that my previous answer was steel, and now I'm selecting concrete and steel. So it's different. Something has changed between the last inspection and this inspection. I can turn that off. This here is the photo library. So if you go in here, you'll be able to see all of the photos that have been taken for each inspection. So you can use it for other things if need be. And this here is a custom report. For clients who don't want to use our standard reports, we can create a custom report, and that becomes available on the tablet as well. Once the inspection has been completed, so all my items here are checked off, these ones were inaccessible, I'm done with the inspection. So the next thing to do is sign and submit the inspection. So I'm going to sign and submit it. It takes me to the screen, shows me my compliance rating, who the client is, the number of deficiencies, and then I can sign the inspection. Sometimes the inspection requires a second signature. It can be a client or someone else, and we can sign it here as well. Once that's done, we submit. Once we submit that inspection, it removes it from my inspection lists. As I go through and perform all of these inspections and complete them, they will be removed from my inspections list. If I go back to the main screen and I go into historical inspections, here I will be able to see all of the inspections that I have completed. I can view the inspection. So if I go and view that inspection, because Field Eagle is built on a audit backbone, we can view, but we can't make any changes. Everything is grayed out. So I can go through all the items and I can see all the questions and the answers, but I cannot do anything. I cannot make any changes because this has been signed and submitted. If I go back to my historical, another option that I have here is reissue. So if this is an inspection that has to be done daily, once a week, once a month, it does not need to be assigned from the server to the inspector each time. Once it's assigned once, that's all it needs to do. Then after that, the inspector can reassign it directly to them on the tablet, directly on the tablet. So that's when we select reissue. We say, yes, I want to reissue the inspection, the plant inspection. So now when I go back to my inspections, I can see that it's here. And then if I go into perform, I can now see that it's the exact same inspection, but it has not been filled out. It's brand new, and I have to go through and fill it out and to go through the same process. Now, if I go back to my historical, the other thing you can do is you can issue a deficient reissue. So this means if there were 5 items on my template that I was not able, that did not pass, and I set them up, sent them out to get fixed, and now someone is telling me that it's been fixed and it needs to be re-inspected. Instead of redoing this whole entire inspection, I can reissue only the deficient items. So if I say reissue and I go to my inspection page, I can see here that it says deficiencies, plan inspections, and I know that this is just for the deficiencies. If I go to perform that inspection, you can see that the items that previously passed, I cannot change them. They had passed. But the items that did not previously pass, which in this case is, this shows you the icon that it's in this item here, was this one. And so now I can go in and I can pass it if it did pass, and I can perform this inspection, and it's now done, which means I can sign and submit. So the only thing I had to inspect were the items that failed. If I go back, this is everything that's in my historical inspections. And you can view, reissue deficient reissue, and you can also delete. These get stored on your tablet so that you can reissue inspections to yourself. Once you've performed the inspection, have it all in your history, the next step is to upload the inspections. This is the next time that you need internet connection on the tablet, because you want to upload the inspections to the server. We would select the inspections and hit upload. This is now using the internet to send these inspections back up to the server so that they can become available. As you can see, if the internet connection is good, the process is very quick. So now if I go back, it took those out of my list and I have nothing to upload. And that is how you use the Field Eagle tablet application.